The Olympic Games, a showcase of peak human performance. But what if I told you about a marathon that was less about athletic prowess and more about pure, chaotic survival? An event so bizarre, it almost got the marathon banned from the Olympics forever. This is the untold story of the 1904 St. Louis Olympic Marathon. The year is 1904. The world gathers in St. Louis for the first Olympic Games held in North America. The marathon, the ultimate test of endurance, is scheduled for a scorching August afternoon. The temperature? A blistering 90 degrees Fahrenheit or 32 degrees Celsius. But the heat was just the beginning of the runner's nightmare. The course was a dusty, unpaved country road. There was only one water station for the entire 24.8-mile race. The organizers wanted to study the effects of purposeful dehydration, a cruel experiment on human subjects. Let's meet some of the men who dared to run this race. 32 athletes from 7 nations, each with a story you won't believe. Among them, a bricklayer, a professional clown, and a Cuban mailman who arrived at the last minute in his street clothes. One of the favorites was Fred Lorz, a bricklayer from New York. He trained at night after long days of hard labor. He was tough, but was he tough enough for this? Then there was Thomas Hicks, a brass worker from Massachusetts. An experienced runner, he was considered a serious contender. But the cost of victory would be higher than he could ever imagine. And who could forget Félix Carvajal, the Cuban postman? He lost all his money in New Orleans and had to hitchhike to St. Louis. He arrived at the starting line in his long pants and work shoes, which he hastily cut into shorts. The starting horn blared. Runners vanished, swallowed by a choking dust cloud from official vehicles. Breathing became a gritty, torturous act, a brutal first taste of the race ahead. William Garcia of California was one of the first to fall. The dust caused a severe stomach hemorrhage, and he was found unconscious on the side of the road. He was lucky to survive. Meanwhile, our Cuban postman, Carvajal, was having an interesting race. Having not eaten in 40 hours, he paused to chat with spectators to practice his English. He even stole some peaches from a car when the occupants refused to share. Later, Carvajal came across an apple orchard and decided to have a snack, but the apples were rotten. He was hit with severe stomach cramps and had to take a nap in the middle of the race. A nap in an Olympic marathon. Then there was Len Tau, one of 2 runners from South Africa and the first black Africans to compete in the Olympics. He was chased a mile off course by a pack of wild dogs. He still managed to finish 9th, an incredible feat of endurance and survival. Back at the front of the race, Fred Lorz, the bricklayer, was the first to enter the stadium. The crowd roared. He was hailed as the winner. Alice Roosevelt, the president's daughter, placed a wreath on his head, but the celebration was short-lived. Exhausted after 9 miles, Lorz quit and hitched an 11-mile car ride. When the car broke down, he rejoined the race. He claimed it was all a joke, but officials issued a lifetime ban, which was later lifted. So, who was the real winner? Thomas Hicks. But his victory was a horrifying spectacle. His trainers, in a desperate attempt to keep him going, gave him a cocktail of raw eggs, brandy, and a surprising ingredient, strychnine, a common rat poison. This was the first recorded use of performance-enhancing drugs in the modern Olympics. The strychnine acted as a stimulant, but it also caused Hicks to hallucinate. He was delirious, begging to lie down, believing the finish line was still miles away. His trainers practically carried him over the finish line. He was too weak to even stand. It took 4 doctors to revive him. He had lost 8 pounds during the race and might have died in the stadium. He never ran a marathon again. And what about our napping Cuban postman, Félix Carvajal? After his impromptu siesta, he got up and finished the race in 4th place. An astonishing result for a man who ran in street clothes and ate rotten apples. Only 14 of the 32 starters finished the race. The slowest winning time in Olympic history. A testament to the brutal conditions and the sheer absurdity of the event. The 1904 Olympic Marathon was a dark chapter in sports history. A story of chaos, cheating, and survival against all odds. It was a race that pushed the boundaries of human endurance in the most dangerous way possible. So, the next time you watch the Olympics, remember the forgotten heroes of 1904. The men who ran a race that was more like a bizarre, tragic comedy than a sporting event. Their story is a powerful reminder of how far the games have come.